What is up, everyone? Getting ready for tip off here for the Heat Celtics game. It's a pretty big one for the Heat. Not so much for the Celtics, but they're pretty locked in at the 2 seed, and we have the Heat fighting for positioning in the play-in. Honestly, it would take a little bit of a miracle for the Heat to be able to, you know, basically win out and have other teams lose in order for them to make that 6 seed. Uh, I think that there's a lot at stake for the Heat just from positioning standpoint and be able to have home court, at least if they are in the play-in. But tip-off is just about to start, and we'll share here so that we could have a live look at the scoreboard as the game goes on here. But if you're tuning in, feel free to chime in. Let us know where you're streaming from, where you're tuning in from. And we just tipped off here, and Miami won the tip off. So they're taking the ball down, and looks like Bam's getting aggressive with that early shot. Makes that nice little free throw mid-range jumper, which is always nice to see. He's the kind of guy you want to get going early because he gets in a rhythm. And the Celtics team, they have to be arguably one of the most surprising teams in the league, especially with what transpired in the offseason. Jaylen Brown, who just scores a bucket, has been incredible for them. And the fact that they got Tatum back before the season is also impressive. Wiggins answers back here with a 3 of his own. So Miami's up 5-2. We'll see if we have this update real quick. Looks like it's ahead now. So Miami, Bam comes right back and hits a 3 of his own. So looks like the threes are flying early, and Miami's trying to, show that they can score from the perimeter tonight. Especially in today's league, you live and die by the 3, and the Celtics are one of the teams in the NBA that takes the most and makes the most, as Jaylen Brown hits one right there. So pushes the score to 7-8 right now. Bam hits another 3. So it's like 3 consecutive threes in the game. Wiggins, Bam. Actually make it 4 if you count Brown's. So very hot start. Miami is known for these hot starts in the first quarter. I think that they're tied for first with the Spurs, averaging around 30, 31 points in the first quarter. But it's nice to see Bam get going early and Wiggins get involved as well. Guess we just need to wait and see if one hero is going to pick his time to step in. But good start so far for Miami. Celtics are a solid team, well coached with Mazzulla at the helm. And this rivalry has obviously been going on for a while. It's very different these days. But, you could be looking at a potential matchup with the Celtics depending on where Miami lands or if they're able to somehow sneak out of the first round. That's it's likely in the cards for them. So it's a lot to see in these last 6 games of the season for Miami. Right now it's should be updated, but like 9-11, Heat up by 2. Davion inbounding the ball to Bam, and then looks like Heroes kicks it right back out to Bam for another 3. Couldn't make that one, but he was wide open, so he's letting it fly right now. Wow. Jaylen Brown takes it to the rack there and finishes to tie it up at 11 here. And he's the only scorer for them. All 11 points are coming from Brown. Wiggins drives it but gets fouled. Brown really has thrusted himself into the MVP conversation. Doubt that he wins it, but he's been the driving force behind that team with Tatum out. I believe he's averaging in the 30s or close to 30. So he's carried a lot of the offense for them, and they've obviously had other guys step up to fill in the gaps. Wiggins hits the first one here, and he hits the second one as well. So Miami up by 2. Again, it seems like it could be a closely contested matchup here, but Miami's doing what they do best this season, pushing the pace, not afraid to really attack. Yeah, Derek White is one of those guys where Miami needs to be worried about him at all times because he turns it on whenever he plays Miami. Hero cuts to the rack and isn't able to finish, but gets fouled, so he's going to go to the line for a couple free throws here. It's a foul on Brown, so that's good news for Miami. Yeah, 2 fouls so far, 1 on Tatum and 1 on Brown. Definitely the kind of guys you want to target. They're both good defenders, relatively speaking, so it's going to be hard to draw fouls on them, but find some mismatch, find some, blown coverages and see if you could get them to jump. Hero hits the first free throw and ready to take the second one here. Makes both. I think Hero's averaging 93% from free throw this season. Obviously, with a shortened season, with he missed a lot of games, but he's been effective since he's been back, and it's almost like him and Powell traded places because Powell's been hurt and not really been the same. So we need him. Miami needs him to play at this level and make up for the scoring that Powell is bringing. Whoa. Bam missed it at the rack, but Larson was there to tip it back. It doesn't finish, but Bam cleans it up. To those second chance points are great. Miami doing a better job this season of rebounding, and wow, Tatum hits a 3 there to get them to a 1-point game. It's 16-17, Miami up by 1. Larson for 3, nails it. The threes are flying right now. Yeah, great start so far from 3. And Larson had an incredible game against the Sixers, 20 points, 10 rebounds. Again, he's not the typical guy you would see in the stat sheet to have that kind of a night, but he did it, and Miami needed it. That Sixers game was incredible, by the way, for anyone who saw it. Hero for 3, misses it. Bam tips it right back out. So second chance here for Miami. Bam shoots a 3 now, misses that one. All right, so he still have a 2-point lead here, 20-18. It's very high scoring for there still being 7 minutes left in the quarter. Tatum misses that 3 with Bam on him. And Bam immediately comes on the other side and attacks Tatum. So that's 2 fouls on Tatum there, which is good. He's probably going to head to the bench. Again, as we mentioned, you want to attack these guys. You want to make sure that you're getting them in foul trouble, and they don't. It's not like they're too deep. I think that they're without Pritchard tonight. I don't know. I don't see him on the court. They're definitely without Vucevic. So there's a lot. There's things playing in Miami's favor here. Yeah. Yeah, they're definitely thinner on the bench tonight. So this is where Miami has to take advantage and be able to build up their lead and not allow Boston to stick around. Miami up 21-18 here. Still just under 7 minutes left. It looks like Brown's going to be the one that's just going to I don't know how many shots he's going to take tonight, but it's probably going to be closer to 30 at this rate. Hauser for 3. He's another dude you got to watch out on the perimeter. Bam draws a foul on Derek White there. That's good. So you have, maybe get him in foul trouble. I think Miami's close to being in the bonus. So, but it looks like they're taking a timeout here. Yeah, entering tonight, it's clearly a game that Miami needs to win more than the Celtics. Miami currently sits at the 9th seed. As we're going to open up let's see what we got here. Yeah, Miami's record right now is 40-36. They're just over 500, which is above what was expected entering the season. If we look at kind of the standings here, we could probably zoom in on this a little bit. You got, Miami sitting at 9, tied with the Hornets. They're just a half game behind the Magic. And then you have, the Sixers here pretty much, a game and a half above that. So, and then 2.5 games right behind the Raptors. So there's a lot of other games we got to be watching to see where the Heat, map out if they're able to pull this out. We could take a look at, some of the other games going on right now. The Sixers are playing. It's against the Wizards, so I don't know how that's going to go. Here you have the Magic versus the Hawks. At this point, you want the Hawks to be able to win that. So, in this case, that would put Miami above the Magic and put them within distance of the Sixers for that 7th spot. Of the Sixers, for whatever reason, end up dropping that Wizards matchup. I don't foresee that happening, but anything could happen. Do you think Brown can go over 38.5 points? I feel like that's a lot. Points, rebounds, assists. So points, rebounds, assists. It's gonna be close, honestly. That line is pretty on the money. He averages probably above 5 rebounds and 5 assists too. So let's say he gets to the 30 mark and he's able to rack, it's very possible, especially now with Tatum out with early foul trouble. And if he comes back in and Miami gives him another foul, then expect them to keep running it through Brown. So I would say it's going to be close. It's going to be, I almost guarantee you that it's going to be just above or just below that. It's a good line. I think at this rate, he might get over it just because they're going to need a lot from him with how thin they are without Pritchard, without Vucevic, and with Tatum out with 2 fouls early in the first. It's going to be a close bet. He's already at 13 points. So, he's pretty much 25% of the way there. Yeah, if you had to jump off the ledge, I'd probably say he probably goes just over that. It's probably going to be 39, 40 points, rebounds, and assists. So, again, looking at Tatum didn't get injured. Tatum has 2 fouls. So he's sitting out for probably the remainder of the first quarter. So you have 6.5 minutes where he's just not going to play. And that means that Brown's definitely going to be taking more shots and be more active on the offensive end. Oh, Pritchard is in the game, so that was my confusion. Which Davion just hit a 3 over Pritchard there, which is good news. Again, the 3s are flying for Miami right now. We can go back to the live feed here. You have 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5 threes already for Miami. And the Celtics themselves hit a 3 there. Baylor Shireman. So it's a 24-24 right now, but then Miami scores. Jaquez getting involved early in his stint off the bench. giving Miami again a 2-point lead here. Yeah, Khalil Ware out there. Pritchard is taking advantage of that matchup there. He was able to kind of draw him out and get Garza open down there. Miami's in the bonus here, so this foul gets him to the line, which is great. With 5 minutes left, every single foul is going to be free throws for the Heat, and you have your best free throw shooter going to the line with Tyler Hero. Again, he's shooting like 93% from free throw. Game's tied at 26 right now, but you got Hero about to take the free throws right now. Tatum for over 22.5 points. I don't know, man. He would have to blow up. It's possible, but with him not playing the rest of this quarter, that might make it more difficult. That's one that I'd probably go under. He's probably going to end up with just under 20, barring him just having like a lights out quarter where he just scores like 12 points. Pritchard hits a 3 there. That puts the Celtics up by 1 point. Oh, Ware drove it there. Wasn't able to finish, but gets a foul, so he's going to take a couple free throws as well. Again, Miami attacking. Miami getting the Celtics in foul trouble. It's pretty spread out right now. The only one in real foul trouble is Tatum. But Brown has one, Shireman, Garza, Derek White. So who else just got one? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you made that bet on Tatum, but it's possible. The guy's obviously an elite player and could turn it on in a quarter to get you within range, but he only has 3 points right now, and he won't be playing the rest of this quarter. Brown, that was a tough shot for him. Good defense by Pell Larson. Hero drives it in, wasn't able to finish at the rack though. Wow, another 3 by Hauser. Dude's a 3-point specialist, so not much to expect there. The Celtics are 6 of 7 from 3, and Miami's not far behind with 5 of their own. Jaime shoots one but misses it there. He's been hitting a couple for a few games now. He has a streak of hitting 2 threes for probably like 4 or 5 games in a row, which is a good sign. It's something that he hasn't focused on this season. And it's something that he needs to continue to develop in his game if he wants to, stay dynamic and relevant, because he's been getting a lot of points attacking the basket for sure. But, as teams start scheming against him and pay more attention to him, that might become more difficult if they send extra bodies or have a zone or something else to stop him. Oof. Hero he had to touch grass there. Luckily, Jaime was able to knock the ball out of bounds there, and Celtics will inbound it here, but that could have been an easy bucket for the Celts. Hauser for 3 again and nails it. This guy is on fire right now. 3 for 3. He hasn't missed a shot, actually. He hit a 2-pointer as well earlier, so he's 4 for 4 overall. Good rebound by Drew Smith. Wasn't able to get the putback, though. Brown drove that in. Again, gets That was over Ware too. Guy's a gifted scorer. What was that? Ware attacked it, but was not a great move. And now the Celtics are going to be able to score pretty easily here. I think this looks like a spot for a timeout if Miami doesn't score here. Ugh, what a terrible turnover there. Miami needs to get a timeout here. They're definitely out of sorts. Celtics go on a run here. Gets them up by 9 points now, 39-30. And there's a timeout. Again, this is Miami. Even though they've been scoring a lot, they've been allowing a lot of points. I think they're allowing over 120 points over the last, 7 games or something. So they've lost their way on defense. And as much as you can have a high-octane offense, you just can't. That's not sustainable. So not a great start to allow 39 points in the first quarter. You're going to have to tighten that up. This puts them on pace for way too many points. You gotta put yourself in a better position. You got to get some stops. And it just doesn't seem like Miami's commitment to defense has been there after that 7-game win streak. It seems like it's kind of gone in the opposite direction defensively. I think the last game was a little bit of a different story against the Sixers, but that was an anomaly compared to the streak that they've been on. Again, as it stands right now, it looks like Miami stays at the 9th seed for whatever reason. They would play the Hornets in that first play-in game, and then I guess that they would play the loser of the 7th, 8th seed to determine if they make it into that spot against, I guess the Pistons would be, yeah. That seems like what it would be like. But as it stands for the year, Miami's still second in the league with points per game. They're third in the league in rebounds per game and 7th in assists. Where they haven't been as great is been efficiency, field goal percentage, or 19th, and 3-point percentage as well. They're shooting 35%. So they take a lot of shots. They're number 1 in pace, but they're not that efficient. That's something that they need to tighten up if they want to make any noise in the playoffs or the play-in. Again, there's a lot to be proven now in these last few games. But ultimately what matters, they're going to be in the play-in no matter what, even if they drop all the way to 10th. Miami's going to have a shot at the play-in once again. And they're just trying to see if they can fight their way into that 6th seed. It's 2.5 game difference between them and the Raptors here. And anything could happen, but it seems like the likelihood is that they'll probably end up somewhere in that 7th or 8th seed if they're able to win just over half of the games. I think that loss against the Pacers was brutal. The Pacers seem to have their number this season, and they won the last 2 matchups. They also shot a ridiculous. They were shot like 70% from the field in the first half, and I forgot where they finished at, probably 60%. But you can't win those games when you're allowing that many points and they're shooting lights out like that. Yeah, you have Jaylen Brown here already with 17 points in the first quarter alone, and Hauser contributing with 11, mostly on threes. Pritchard takes a 3 there and misses, but he got poked away, and now they're coming back the other way. Hauser takes another 3, nails it. He's 4 for 4 from 3. That puts the Celtics up 42-30, 12-point lead. They're on a 13-0 run right now. Miami has not been able to answer back. And Hero takes a 3 of his own and nails it. Stops the bleeding there. So Miami gets 33 points now. But it looks like the Celtics are not stopping because Jaylen Brown rises up for 3. Unfreaking real. This dude has 20 points. So yeah, if you had that points, rebounds, assists, this guy's gonna blow past it. He has 20 points in one quarter. This is looking like that Luka game with the Lakers when he came to Miami. Did a heat check there and took a three and missed it, but he's a problem. Hero for three again. Luckily, Bam drew a foul here at the bottom on Brown. So Brown, I think that's his second personal foul. Yeah, Bam tried getting positioning on Brown, and he definitely, drew a foul there, not being able to box him out appropriately. So Brown finally goes to the bench, but there's only a minute left in the quarter. I don't know how much value that brings you here. Tatum comes in, so he's gonna have some, minute 10 to close out the quarter, but I don't know how much they're gonna go to him. We'll see. Bam missed both free throws, so the foul didn't pay off for Miami. Shireman comes right back, hits a three. So the Celtics, this is incredible. It is crazy how many threes they've made in this first quarter. 10 for 13. Hyman tries driving and Nkata blocks it out of bounds here. 48 points in the first quarter. This is brutal. Brutal for Miami to have allowed this many points. It's been a barrage of threes, and they've made literally all but three of them. 10 threes in the first quarter. It's crazy. Hawk is short there with the fadeaway. Tatum's going to bring it down. Hauser for three again. Nails it. Oh, my goodness. 51 points in a first quarter. He's 6 of 6. He's made 5 threes in a quarter. Unreal. The Celtics are 11 of 14. And Miami's shooting 50% from three. It's not bad, but how do you compete with a team making 11 of 14 threes in the first? And Tatum rises up for one, airballs it, but Pritchard gets it right back and puts it up. A 53-point first quarter for the Celtics. And yeah, this is going to be a rough night for Miami if they're not able to tighten up. Being down 20 points in the first quarter alone. Yeah. I don't know what you tell your team right now. That halftime speech is going to be interesting because they're going to have to chip away at this deficit to even have any shot. Again, in Miami, missing an opportunity when you have the Magic also losing by a good amount, and Philly in a tight battle with the Wizards. This is a perfect game to show. Obviously, the Celtics are the better team so far. With their number 2 in the East, but I mean, this is just unacceptable to be down 20 at home after one quarter. But maybe we're seeing what this team is truly made of, and they're not equipped to play with the top tier teams in the East right now. They do have a chance to do the funniest thing ever and somehow get back in this game. But if whatever bets you put on the Celtics players outside of Tatum so far, they're probably blown out of proportion because Brown already has 20, Hauser has 17, and there's 3 quarters left. Do you guys have any other predictions, any other comments about the game? Feel free to chime into the chat. Again, looking back at, we can see the last game for the Heat. I mean, Bam had a nice game with and 23 and 16 rebounds with 6 assists. He was a plus 12, clearly the most impactful player across the board. And then Hero came with 30 points of his own, some big shots there at the end. Again, Hero's more of a volume shooter. He shot 24 field goal attempts. The nearest team members that shot were 13, so he shot 11 more than the next closest person. Obviously, if Powell was in there, he'd probably take a little bit more, or like bring this down and take somewhere closer to 18 to 20. But that's what he is for this team. He's a volume shooter and is able to really get you buckets when you need them. It just sucks that Miami is in a hole right now, and I don't know how much his offense is going to be necessary to get you back in it, but you got to get stops. Defensively, you really have to clamp down, and I don't know. I don't know what you're going to do because they're now making you have to play them out on the perimeter more with how well they're shooting. So you can expect them to get some easier shots, cutting and closer to the basket as a result of it. Sam Hauser, 6 of 6 from the field, 5 threes, and 17 points. Incredible. But yeah, Miami over the last 8 games, not so great. 2-6 record. Offensive rating down from what they're used to. Defensive rating up. Not great. So you can see here over the course of the season how this is gone. But we'll come back to the live score here as the second quarter just started. And the Celtics missed their first shot of the quarter. Miami's coming right back down. Fontecchio rises up for 3 and misses there. So the Celtics come right back. Miami has to get consecutive stops and go on their own mini runs if they really want to chip away at this. Garza misses there. So back-to-back missed shots by the Celtics. Miami has to capitalize here. I don't know why Fontecchio drove it in. That's literally not his strong suit. Tatum rises up for 3 and nails it, pushing the lead to 23. This might be a historic shooting night for the Celtics at this rate because they're on pace to score 200 points, guys. Fontecchio gets a putback, doesn't make it, but at least he's going to go to the free throw line here. Holy crap, man. You got Pritchard and Shireman at a plus 26 and Hauser at a plus 20. Like these plus minus numbers are absurd. Yeah, it's just been such a bizarre stretch for the Heat after going on that 7-game win streak and obviously having that Bam 83-point performance. You kind of thought things were trending in the right direction, and then the wagon wheels just started coming off, and going 2-6 in the last 8 games is brutal. You had a huge loss to the Cavs. I know there were back-to-back games where they won the first one, but the second one was a blowout, and this one's looking like it's going to be a blowout unless Miami is able to do something. So far, you have, Bam's the only one in double digits. Hero pitched in with 7 of his own and Wiggins with 5. You're going to need a little bit more from some of these other guys like Jaime, Larson, and Ware. Fontecchio's probably going to take some threes just to get him back in the game. Oh, my goodness. Luke Garza jumping in on the parade and hits a 3 of his own. Everyone is hitting threes. This is absurd. Fontecchio driving it. Not the guy that needs to be driving it, honestly. But I don't know who's going to step up for Miami here. Davion misses on a three. Tatum here with the ball. They were able to get it out of his hands here. Oh, man. He draw foul. Oh, Celtics draw foul on the Heat. Fontecchio tried reaching in to get the ball out of Garza's hand, but gets a call there. I don't know what the solution is for Miami, honestly. I don't think they could go to a zone. Garza shoots another three, misses it. Bam drives it in on Garza, gets a foul. So he's going to get to the line, but he needs to make them. Last time he missed both. Again, yeah, I guess keep trying to draw fouls on these guys and get to the line as early as possible. But you got to capitalize on your free throws. Yeah, Ware only has played 5 minutes so far. Larson's checking back into the game here. He's checking in for Hawkes. Jordan Wall's checking in for the Celtics. Bam misses a second. .23 lead still for the Celtics, and their shooting has been absurd. Never seen such a hot start for a team. Everyone, obviously Hauser being the main dude. Garza was able to get a bucket underneath the basket there. Wiggins drives it, but gets blocked. Bam rises up for three. Nails one. Going to need every bucket they can get from the captain. So he's at 15 points now. He's at 3 threes. Wiggins on Tatum. He lost the ball here. Miami going the other way. Fontecchio for three. Nails it. He's going to let it fly. Miami needs it. It's a good way to capitalize on the other end because you cannot let a turnover go unanswered at this rate. You have to be able to get to the line or get an easy bucket. So makes the cuts the lead down to 19. So it's not 20 anymore, but we're going to need to see a lot more of consistent defensive effort. And yeah, I don't know if Miami can even go to a zone with the way that they're shooting. They go to a 3-2, I guess, and have more guys on the perimeter. But the way that the Celtics are moving the ball around and the way that they're shooting it, obviously they can't keep it up. Like there's law of averages. They're not going to shoot like this all game long. But with this kind of a lead, you can get away with, missing, going on a stretch of missing threes, especially if you're starting able to capitalize on, mid-range and close to the shots close to the basket. But we were talking about earlier, this is kind of like the sequence of Miami's net rating and Miami's just offensive and defensive rating. Like you want this to be low. This means you're allowing less points, and this means you're scoring more points. And it's inverted, here kind of towards the mid to late end of March. Now you want that to start converging again so that your offensive rating keeps going up. You're scoring more buckets and you're allowing less. But tonight, I don't know how. I mean, you're allowing a shit ton of points right now. You got 61 points already, and there's still 8 minutes left before halftime. So you're going to have to get the Celtics to go on a dry spell and really lock down defensively to get back into it. If Miami can really get within 10 before half, that would be incredible. But I don't know. Celtics are on the second that Jaylen Brown checks back in. I don't, it seems like they're going to keep finding ways to trade baskets or keep pushing that envelope. Again, if we're looking at the season, obviously, the thing is, Miami has 3 guys that are averaging over 20: Bam, Hero, and Powell. Now, Hero's only played 21 games this season. Bam has played 60. Powell's played 50. He's been injured and sick as of late. Miami needs him healthy going into the play-in. And the issue is that when him and Hero have been playing, they don't really play well when they're both on the court. They kind of have to stagger them. So Spo's going to have to find a way to leverage those guys, because it's like, it sucks to have 2 guys that can give you 20 points, but then it seems like they can't work well together. There's not like a net positive when they're on the court together. And then you have Wiggins here at basically 16 points, and Hawkins at 15, making a bid for that 6th man of the year. I think he's in that. There's a good chance. I don't know who wins it at the end of it. I think at 15 points, 5 rebounds, and almost 5 assists, it's a really solid stat line, averaging around 28, 29 minutes per game coming off the bench. Pretty good percentages. 3-point percentage is atrocious at 28, but basically 50% from the field because he attacks a lot. All right, we're back here after the timeout. Celtics get the ball, and Tatum immediately comes back with a mid-range shot. So they're back up by 21 now. Tatum has 8 for the night so far. Davion answers back with a little floater of his own in the lane. Miami's going to need him to chip in a little bit more than usual, whether it's facilitating or making a few timely baskets. Tatum rises up for 3 again, nails it. These guys, I can't believe this. They're shooting 67% from the field, and they're 14 of 19 from 3. It's absurd. Wiggins loses the ball there, but it's still Miami ball. Wow. Bam gets blocked there. That Jordan Walsh kid, man, he's sneaky good defensively. He's either blocked or impacted 2 shots already. With he's kind of like their Drew Smith, but longer as a wing. Miami bringing the ball down again. Nice cut by Larson there to get an easy basket. Hero finds him. That's what he's good at. He's definitely great at crashing the board, attacking, slashing. He's been a big positive for Miami with playing that role. He steals the ball there, pushes it ahead, but Miami loses it. The Celtics right now, I mean, I mentioned that this isn't as important to them, but they are 2 games ahead of the Knicks. They might want to just maintain control of that position, but they're going to be no lower than the 3rd seed for sure. But they've been way better than expected this season, and find themselves at second. Jaylen Brown trying to get in and gets a bucket. He already has 22 for the night. Davion for 3. Rims out. It's open shot. You got to take it. Jaylen Brown here. Step back three on Bam. Misses it. Miami's going to push it ahead here. Wow. Bam lost it. That's you can't have that. You can't have that happen. 2 blocks. Amazing. Good. So far, at least a little bit better defensively for the Heat. Hero rises up for 3, nails it. Good transition 3. 19-point lead for the Celtics here. Hero up to 10 points for the night. Brown again with the ball. Oh, Wiggins is able to block Hauser there. Great anticipation. Now he drives it. Mace makes it over Brown on the transition. So Miami has 51 now. Brown for 3, misses it. Garza gets a rebound, though, and gets an easy 2. Wiggins is a little tired there from playing defense and then going back on the other end. Miami just needs to be able to consistently capitalize on the turnovers and missed shots for the Celtics. There's been too many turnovers and just missed opportunities on those. You're not going to be able to chip away a significant amount of the lead unless you're able to convert. Yeah, coming back here, as I mentioned earlier about Larson, not a guy that is sexy on the stat sheet. He's just averaging 10 points, about 3 rebounds and 3 assists. But then he has random nights where he scores 20 on occasion. He's 49% right there with Jaquez from the field. Just 33% from 3. I think he's a better 3-point shooter than that. I think as of late he's been more cold. Miami's like best 3-point shooters really are like Hero, Powell, Wiggins here, and Mitchell at 41%. Even Kaz, Kaz doesn't get that much playing time, but shot 43%. I think he's the number 1 rookie still behind Concanipple from 3-point percentage. So that's great news for Miami to have that option off the bench. Don't know how much you'll see of him now as you get closer to playoff time. But he deserves at least some minutes here or there and to get some experience. Been averaging around 18 minutes per game. What else have we got here? Yeah, if we're just looking at, let's look at the month of March. Miami ended the month of March 8-7, so just above 500. Pretty even from offensive rating and defensive rating. This obviously in the beginning of March, it was looking good, and then it started kind of leveling out. So their net rating of 1. That's why you see that here. You could tell here pretty much how that panned out. It just kind of went the opposite direction. They've really only had the win against the Cavs and a win against the Sixers and a lot of losses here since March 15th against the Magic. Yeah, Jaylen Brown, where's he at right now? He has at 22 points. He's averaging 28.6 points per game this season, 7 rebounds and 5 assists on 47% field goal percentage. He's obviously the team's highest scorer. He did have a bad game against Atlanta. Was it last night? But where he just pretty much had he went 9 of 29. He took 29 shots. It's crazy. 6 turnovers. But clearly it didn't bother him the way he started off tonight. And yeah, the fact that Norm Powell isn't in the game isn't great for Miami. He's usually probably someone who would be guarding him. And Tatum, Tatum didn't play against Atlanta. Obviously, they're trying to load manage him. But he's in his short stints back. He's at 21 points per game, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists. So clearly close to what he's used to being. Larson with another quick basket attacking the rim here. So Miami up to 53 now. 17-point deficit. Tatum drives it, puts it back up to 19. Tatum already has 13. I mean, kicking the ball around, trying to find an open shot, but Celtics playing good defense. They find Larson down low. He's able to get that rebound and one, man. This kid is fearless. Missed the shot, got the rebound, put it right back up, and is able to get the and one. Let's see if he could capitalize at the free throw line and get the 3 points. But he did this on Tatum, and Kato was there right next to him also. So it was like on two guys that was able to get the shot off plus get the rebound to put it back. I've said it already, and Larson deserves to get a contract with this team for the long term. And you might as well lock it in now while he's affordable than later, because he's definitely a role player you want on this team. I don't see him being a superstar at all, but he seems like he could be he's obviously a great fit for Miami, but just a star in his role. He's already done that, and he's only a sophomore. So I think you got to make the most of it. Hauser rises up for three again, misses that one. He's human. Hero coming right back, driving it on Hauser. Gets blocked by White there. Forget about him. Oh, Bam gets a steal here. Let's see what he could do. Nice. Finishes at the rim. White wasn't able to stop him. So able to turn it right back around and get a turnover and able to capitalize on it. So 57-72. Miami fighting back here. But answers right back. You see, like, the fact that this was an easy basket under the rim, Miami's obviously playing them up on the perimeter. And so it creates these lanes and these passing opportunities to get shot attempts closer to the hoop. And, you got Keita and Garza, making easy buckets down low as a result of it. Ten seconds left on the shot clock here. Hauser, Brown has the ball. He's going to have to take a mid-range here. Over two guys, misses it. Shot clock violation. Looks like they're getting a little chippy here. Keita didn't want to let go of the ball there. Heat crowd trying to get the team into it, chanting, "Let's go Heat," and see if they listen to it. Bam going down into the paint and drawing a foul on Keita. I don't think that puts him in the bonus yet, but Keita has 2 fouls already. I think that's his third. Bam for 3. Misses it. Larson on Tatum here. Switch off to Bam. It's a good matchup here. Tatum, step back 3, misses it. But Keita boxes out, and Larson has to foul to prevent him from an easy bucket. So Miami is in the bonus. Every foul from now on is a free throw, but there's only 125 left. Probably won't be too many attempts here. Wiggins is checking in for Davion now. It means Miami doesn't really have a point guard out there outside of Hero and probably point guard by committee. Oh, turnover here. Again, Miami gives it right back up. It can't be, unless, was it tipped off? Yeah, it was tipped off as a Celtics. So luckily Miami didn't give it right back there. Jaquez with the ball here, driving it on Hauser, Wiggins. Also for Jaquez, see what he does here. His shots are short today. Jaquez just not converting on those mid-range shots. Derek White drives it right back and gets to the cup for a quick little short-range bucket off the glass. Hero rises up for three, misses it. Bam gets it back, though. Yeah, quick hands by White there to tip it out of bounds. So 39 seconds left in the quarter. Only 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Bam isn't able to convert there, and the Celtics are off to the races. And they're able to convert, so they're back up to 21 points. Again, the hope of getting within 10 just didn't pan out, and Miami's just not able to string together consistent buckets and stops to chip away at this. Whatever gets said at halftime is going to be crucial. Turnover again, so the Celtics are going to get one final shot here, which is an easy little lob to Brown. Rough finish for Miami as they were trying to find a way to chip away at the lead and find themselves down, 21 points or 23? Yeah. 23. So the Celtics have 80 points. Again, 80 points at halftime. That's on pace to score 160. It's just not sustainable. Miami needs to do a better job defensively, and they need to be able to convert. So, guys, yeah, we find ourselves at the half. We can look at some of the other teams right around the league right now and how those games are going. You got the Knicks handling business against the Grizzlies, up by 18. The Sixers finally turned the corner and started pressing the gas. They have a 20-point lead on the Wizards. But the Magic are getting cooked by the Hawks. Just they're basically the Heat and the Magic are doing the Spider-Man meme right now. They're just like pointing at each other, seeing who can get cooked quicker or worse. Like, this is not. It's honestly worse for the Magic because they had higher hopes entering the season, especially after the trade for Bane. The fact that they're right next to Miami, who had Miami, for all intents and purposes, is right above what you expected from them. The line on them was that they were going to win 37, 38 games, and they've won 40. So they'll probably win a couple more and end up just above 500 to finish the season. We play the Wizards next, I believe. So, you can expect Miami to win a couple more and end up. Yeah, we have Boston now. We have the Wizards next. That should be a win. And then you got 2 games against Toronto, which are massive, and then you play the Wizards again. So a win tonight would be incredible. It just would take a valiant effort to even get back into this game. It seems like doubtful, honestly, but whatever. We'll see how the second half plays out. That's why you watch these games. And again, you should win these 2 games against the Wizards, and you should steal one from the Raptors so that, that gives you a fighting chance to go up a seed, especially with the Magic not playing as great, and the Hornets are a hot team, but they don't play that much defense, and they also can drop a few. But right now, again, the Magic, Heat, and Hornets have the same amount of wins right now, and you got the Sixers with 1 more win and Raptors with 2. Sixers looks like they're going to win another one tonight, so that's going to add their cushion and get the game a little bit tighter with that positioning tighter with the Raptors. I mean, the Hawks are also there too, but Miami's 3 games out from that. I highly doubt that you can make that leap. You kind of need the Raptors to lose some games and some of these other teams in between to drop some as well. The Raptors are playing Sacramento tonight, which is one of the worst teams in the league. Even though they're down right now, I don't think that lasts. Same way that this was a close game early on. But this is what the outlook right now. You guys have any predictions for the second half, or just how the season ends? If I had to guess, I think Miami has enough to be an 8th seed. There's a possibility that they get to the 7th seed. I have doubts that they are able to get into that 6th seed, honestly. I think it's going to be either the Raptors or it's going to be 3 ways between. I mean, the Sixers could get it. The Hawks could also. They're only half a game away from the Raptors, so who knows how it pans out. We know that the top 4 are locked with the Cavs. It's really these 4 are pretty set in position, I would say. And there's no real hot streak right now. Every team is kind of like just a 2-game win streak for the Hawks, 1 for the Pistons. Now, the Hawks have been probably the hottest over the last 10, 8-2, and the top 4 teams have won 7 out of 10. Whereas like these teams down here are obviously the ones that have been struggling, and the Hornets too. The Hornets 7-3 the last 10 games. That's got them, in contention here to be potentially higher than a 10th seed in the play-in. You're looking at the rest of the league too. You got this OKC here with a net rating of 11. I mean, it's incredible what they do on a nightly basis. They have 60 wins again. And honestly, the Spurs are not far off. They're right there with them, and they have their number this season. They beat OKC 3 times this season. So I think everyone wants to see this matchup at some point. This looks like a Western Conference Finals. And for all intents and purposes, it looks like Detroit and Boston might be the 2 teams that are going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals, unless you're able to get the Knicks or the Cavaliers to somehow break in and win a series against them. But Denver and the Rockets are looming in there, but it looks like it's a clear distinction in terms of tier when you're looking at OKC and the Spurs. Nobody expected the Spurs to take this lead. This is wild. So for sure, they have to be above Boston in terms of shocking and being a 2 seed in their conference. Just because, I mean, when you have the Rockets and the Nuggets there, I didn't even expect them to be a top 5 team in the West. You have the Timberwolves right behind them too. So, and the Lakers. So it's kind of insane how they leapfrogged all those teams to be number 2 in the West right now. And they're so young. And they go as far as Wemby goes, obviously, but the contributions they're getting from some of those young players down the lineup is scary. They look like, what OKC looked like a couple seasons ago. And I think everyone wants to see that matchup in the playoffs because they might be able to make it a 6-7 game series and push them over the edge. If they make the finals this year, that would be shocking and impressive. And I mean, the league would probably love it just because that's the kind of stuff you watch sports for, honestly. Again, some of this is wrong. It says seventh in the East, but they're ninth right now. This is a dashboard I've been working on, trying to just consolidate all the stuff that we need to look at on just from a game to game, week to week basis. Uh, just love being able to kind of see at a glance some of the key things you want to see. Like it clearly shows you who the top usage guys are for the Heat when Hero, Powell, and Bam. There's a clear distinction between them and the next tier of seeing Hawkes and Wiggins. Um, Jovic shouldn't even be here. I think like his sample data is so low that got to filter that out. But it's interesting to see how it pans out in terms of the different kind of key players in Miami and that how it's tiered out. And speaking of Wemby, I mean, let's see, this Wemby next to Shea. What stands out here? Like the impact here on the defensive and offensive end. Like clearly on the defensive end, he impacts the game in ways that it's hard to quantify. Honestly, it's not even block shots and steals. It's like the fact that guys will go up against him and stop stop shooting the ball, even if they feel like they can take the shot. His wingspan and his ability to close the gap is crazy. So some people are calling it the never mind stat, where it's just like guys have the ball within any kind of range of him and they just back off, kick it out, don't decide to shoot it just because this dude's probably going to block it or force you into a terrible shot. Yeah, we're looking again back at the other games tonight. Sixers have a comfortable 18-point lead right now over the Wizards. They're probably going to be able to hold on to that. And this looks like another game too that's just going to stay there. Miami not looking great. I don't, you know, as a fan, you have hope that they could chip away at it, but as like if I'm going to be follow my mind, this looks like a game that is out of reach, and you might want to just start throwing some of your backups in there in the fourth quarter to give them playing time, like Ware and Yakachonis and whoever else you want to get some experience. Just a disappointing first half. You can't expect, the Celtics to come out that hot from three, but you just can't allow, what was it, 53 points or, yeah, it was like 53 points in the first quarter and 80 at the half is it's brutal. There's not many teams that could come back from this. So I would say there's a less than 5% chance that Miami is able to come back into it, but I hope I'm proven wrong and we're in for a hell of a comeback. Sacramento giving a little bit of a battle here so far, but there's still a lot of game to be played. I wouldn't be shocked if the Raptors turn this around in the later half of the second quarter and stretch that lead. But it's really about the second half because the Kings tend to fall apart and they're just a mess of a roster. Even though they have talented players on there, they just don't have a roster construction and really, I guess, a cohesive team to string together wins. Like 19 wins. I believe that you find them now at the second worst, if not the worst in the West, maybe with Utah. So we're looking at the standings here. Yeah, the Jazz are dead last. I mean, the Kings are dead last. 2 games behind uh the Jazz. So that's kind of crazy to see. We predicted they were going to be second worst in the West, which is well below expectations. Honestly, they were supposed to be like a play-in team or like just outside of it, and they're bottom of the barrel. So they're 2 games behind the Jazz. It looks like they're in full tank mode. They're just trying to see. But even with that said, you got the Jazz are 1-9, so they've lost a lot. But these guys were so far behind that even that didn't help them get within. They're within 2. Anything can happen here at the end, but they're not finishing better than second worst in the West. And the Pacers too, very disappointing. You didn't think that the Halliburton injury was going to yield such a downturn for that team. They're 17 wins so far. That's even worse. Them and the Wizards are just like tied for worst in the league. And then Miami, as two of these wins are at Miami's hands. Miami needed to win those 2 games. But for whatever reason, the Pacers just have had their number in the couple matchups they've had. And yeah, those are the kind of things that you regret if you're on the Heat right now. And a game like tonight, yeah, the expectation was and the line pointed towards the Celtics being the better team and favored to win. Just don't think that they were going to come out and lay the hammer down this strongly and this early. But it looks like we're getting ready to come out for the third quarter. And let's see if there was some sort of halftime speech that energizes and rallies these guys to come back into it, because it's a little bit of pride too, like you just have to be able to. You got fans that came out to watch this game. You saw your team give up 80 points in the first half. Like, what are you going to show them in the second half that's going to make them worth stay through? Unless they're a Celtics fan, then of course they're like enjoying the hell out of this. But if you're a Heat fan in that arena, you really hope your team can lock in defensively. And not a great start. Hauser comes out, drives it, finishes at the rack and gets a foul, so he gets an and one to kick it off here on Hero. So we'll get the live score back in here. Hauser already has 19 points, and now with this free throw puts him at – he missed it, so it would have put him at 20, but you can anticipate him getting over the 20 mark. 5 of 7 from 3. It's only missed 2 shots all game. Larson for 3 here. Misses it. Brown comes right back down. They double team him, but they find Cato with a cut for another quick basket. So Celtics extend their lead to 29 now. Well, is it 29? 84-57 here. Sorry. Larson tries getting a basket, gets fouled. So Keita is going to draw his 3rd foul. And Larson hits a free throw. It's not looking great, guys. You can't come out with a half like this and expect to have any shot. Not to be a pessimist, it's just I'm reading what's happening on the court. He makes a 2nd free throw here. And Miami's notorious for not having great third quarters, but the circumstances are a little bit different here. Maybe they're able to start locking in after getting punched in the mouth to start this. You got White for 3. He misses it. And Wiggins brings down the rebound. Wiggins for 3. Nails it. So Miami has 61 now. Davion almost gets a strip there. Hauser with the ball. Back to Tatum. He's probably going to jack up a three here. Cade-ives just killing Miami down low. This is where, I mean, I'm shocked that Ware isn't in the game right now, but I don't know how well he'll play against Cade. But this is where what Miami lacks. It's size. It's you only have Bam and Ware obviously Spo kind of picks and chooses when he uses him. In some games he's great, in other games he's not so great. So this is the kind of game you would have hoped that he'd be in there and be able to box him out, get some rebounds, play some defense, but he's only played 5 minutes so far, and I don't know how much usage Spo is going to get out of him. The Celtics missed a second free throw, but then get the ball back. So they have another possession out of it. Tatum rises up for a mid-range and makes it over Davion Mitchell. Hero takes a three, nails it. 13 points so far. Miami's still down by 23. Looks like an offensive foul on Brown there with an elbow to Wiggins' face. Tatum has 13 rebounds. Incredible. So he's contributing more than just on offense. He's clearly doing whatever he can. 15 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists. Jaylen Brown has 24 points, going to the free throw line for 2 more right now. Yeah, Celtics back up to a 25-point lead. Wiggins for 3, wide open. Nails it. Smart play by Larson driving it in. Wiggins 3 of 3. He's doing what he can from 3-point. Good defense by Mitchell there. He got beat, but he was able to strip it out of bounds. Brown for 3. Nails it. Yeah, guys, it's that kind of night. Dude has 29 points already. The Celtics aren't missing anything from 3. Bam, able to draw a foul on Cade, which I thought had 3 fouls, but I guess he only had 2. See if he can convert here. Got to make these free throws. That makes the first one. So Miami has 4 players in double digits, but it doesn't really matter much when you got the Celtics just outscoring you at every turn, destroying you from 3-point. Brown again here. Driving it on Hero. Draws a foul and one. He is cooking Miami. This is so reminiscent of that Luka game when the Lakers came into town. Just like unstoppable. 3 of 6 from 3-point, but he's 8 of 11 from the 2-point. Celtics don't even score that many points. They're known for their defense more than anything and just keeping games, in their pace in their favor. But this is just an anomaly of an offensive performance in Miami. Also defensively not doing what they got to do. Bam with a double clutch mid-range shot there and able to make it. He's up to 21 for the night. Finally, Brown misses a shot. Larson for 3. Nails it. He was due for one. He's 13 points tonight. 2 of 3 from beyond the arc. Still a 21-point lead for the Celtics. And I don't know, he got hard. Hauser almost pulled up for 3 there. Felt like it was going to be automatic. Air ball. Finally, some good defense here. All right, so Miami coming back down. Larson driving it in, kicks it out to Davion, who nails a 3. Finally breaking the 20-point threshold. Miami down by 18 now, I believe. Let's see if. Yeah, it's 18 points. Yeah, it's brutal. It's from the gates. It was 53-point first quarter allowed on the Celtics. The Celtics are the 22nd ranked offense in the league, and somehow, I mean, they also take a lot of threes. So tonight they've just been hitting every 3 known to man. Like, you just look down the lineup here. 3 of 6 by Browns for 50%. This guy missing just 2. Tatum just under 50%. Garza 1 of 2. Shireman 2 of 2. Pritchard 1 of 2. Usually it's Pritchard and White kind of like stacking this up, but then and you got Hauser hitting 5 threes. All these were in the first quarter, by the way. Like, you're gonna struggle. You're gonna have a rough night. And Miami it's not like Miami's been playing terrible offensively, but they haven't been able to capitalize and close that gap. So we're at the break right now, and if we look back at the other games, yeah, the Sixers blew the lid off that game. They're up by 20. Yeah, scored 144 on the Wizards, which hopefully the Heat don't get that bad and kind of tighten it up here and only allow, 120, 130, because like at this pace, that's what it's looking like. The Magic too. The Magic here getting blown out by the Hawks. And there goes the Raptors flipping the lead now on Sacramento. You need, if you're a Heat fan, you want Sacramento to win this and you want Orlando to lose and all these things. You wanted the Sixers to lose. It's not going to happen against Washington. And you need a win, but that's not going to happen at this pace, barring a miracle. So you can keep watching along and see if we can both witness some sort of miraculous comeback, or at least be able to see what the backups have I've only been to one Heat game this year worth a round one ticket. I think that they'll play, Miami in the play-in. Clearly, they've gotten out of the play-in for the past 3 years. So those play-in games are entertaining, that's for sure. And if they make it out, I guess it all depends on the matchup. You don't want what happened last year against the Cavs. That was brutal to watch. So I don't know. Ironically enough, if they're able to play against the Pistons, I don't think they can beat the Pistons in 7 games unless they have Cade Cunningham is out for that. But they do play well against the Pistons, and it'll be close matchups. Yeah, I think that it all goes down to the matchup. If you're playing the Celtics, I don't know. Tonight might be an indicator of how this goes. Maybe Miami can steal 1 or 2, but not much beyond that. And same thing with the Cavs. I don't know. I don't think it's blowouts like last season, but it's definitely going to be a rough series for them. There's not many. It would have to be, everything would have to go in Miami's favor for them to get out of the first round. But I think that's their ceiling. Like, best case scenario, they somehow get out of the play-in, go to the first round, and are able to win a series against a team that, for whatever reason, doesn't match up well against Miami. Except, if it's the Knicks, the Celtics, or the Cavs, you have to give the edge to those teams. For whatever reason, the Pistons, Miami has a good kind of way to keep it close and make it a matchup, a series. Tatum, man. We're back here. We go back to the game here. Back up to 20 after Tatum hits that shot. And Miami turns it over. Double dribble called on Hero. So Celtics come back with the ball. Tatum kind of controlling it right now. Kicks it to Brown, who does a fadeaway into the dude. Crazy. Turn around fadeaway in the paint. Nails it. He has 32 tonight. Jaylen Brown does. Hawkins is going to check back in for the Heat. Trying to see here. The Celtics are shooting 60% from the field tonight, 53 from 3. Miami shooting 40% from the field, 50% from 3, which is good, but 40% from the field is just not great. And they've taken the Celtics have taken 66 to Miami's 59. Usually Miami's the one taking more shots and pushing the pace. It's just everything's gone in their favor. And you can tell here, look at the shots in the paint for the Celtics. Just killing Miami in the paint, whereas Miami's just missing these shots in the paint. It's kind of the story if you want to, narrow it down to what the true situation is. So, gonna be a rough night when you're allowing Sam Hauser to shoot 70% from 3, 71%, and Jaylen Brown 66%. Dude is 14 of 21 from the field. Crazy. It's nuts because it's not like you look down their bench, and it's obviously Hauser stands out, but nobody else. Garza, Shireman, Kada, like everything else is by committee, and they have this massive lead. Yeah, it's funny how the Heat and the Magic are literally playing who can get beaten more. ¿Qué pasó? Paliza. The Heat getting curb stomped right now. 101-77. They just haven't been able to break the 20-plus point deficit that they've had. And yeah, the Celtics are clearly the better team right now. There's a little bit of hope in the upcoming games, playing 2 games against Washington and 2 games against the Raptors, but the Raptors are good too. The Raptors are 5th in the East, and Miami is down here a 9th spot. So, but it's those 2 games are important because you see the differential here, and you look at the other games. Sacramento's giving Toronto some trouble, so if they lose this game, they keep it within range, and Miami could, close that gap in those next 4 games if they're able to win 3 or all 4 of them. But tonight, you knew it was going to be a tough matchup. You didn't think it was going to be this level of a beatdown. And yeah, the Celtics are just playing the game the best way possible, and Miami's not able to catch up. All right, so Miami's coming back here with the ball. Larson has it at the top of the key. Kick out to Hawkins for 3. Off the back iron. It's just nothing is going in Miami's way. You need to have just consistent shots being made. You can't have make one, miss one, and expect to come back into this. Hawkins gets into the lane and is able to get an and one here. Hopefully converts at the free throw line. But they really need to go on like a 9-0 run, force the Celtics to go, call timeout, and just keep getting those stretches where they're get consistent stops. But I don't see it happening with the data that I've seen through 2.5 quarters, almost 3 quarters now. So and I haven't seen much of Ware still's only played 5 minutes. Spo is not going to him, doesn't believe that he deserves to be out there. He's now on the court right now, but I don't know how long they keep him out there. Wide open shot by Pritchard. Nails it. Brutal defense by Miami. Celtics have 104 points right now, and there's going to be an entire other quarter to play. Jaquez doing his thing, driving to the hoop, getting a little shot off the glass. And then Tatum comes right back, jacks up a 3, misses it. Luckily. The Celtics, they're also staying out of foul trouble. No, they only got 2 guys with 3 fouls in Kada and Brown, but seems like they'll be able to wind down this quarter with a healthy Jesus Christ. Pritchard for 3. Doesn't matter what Miami does. They just keep answering back. There's no defensive stops that is going to get Miami back in this game. Hawkins finally hits a 3 here, but it means nothing if Miami can't stop him. Insane. Garza for 3. Nails it. Yeah. I think it's time if I'm Spo, I'm looking at the end of that bench and trying to give some other guys minutes because Larson with a nice cut, but Luke Garza scoring threes on you, like that's just it's not acceptable to have guys at the end of their bench, making all these threes and you struggle to even chip away at a lead. Shireman with a floater, like when you got names like Shireman and Garza beating you, they both have. Well, Shireman doesn't have double digits yet, but Garza does. Like it's been a long night and it's gonna be a long night the rest of the way through here. Larson doing what he can to play defense, and Davion takes a three but isn't able to finish it. Yeah, this is whoever is playing hard now are the guys that deserve, a spot on this roster moving forward. It's clearly seeing Jaquez and Larson being those two guys right now. Let's see who else wants to step up. I don't, this game is out of reach essentially. I don't see the Celtics collapsing. And Garza takes another three, rims out. Ware for three, nails it. Miami has 96 now. By the way, both teams have 18 three-pointers, except one team is up by as much as they are. Ware with a rebound. It's good. You got to convert here. Davion for three. Nails it. So Miami pushes it up to 99 now. They're on an 11-2 run. This is the most life you've seen out of this team. Tatum missing a three here. It looks like they're calling out on Miami, but it looked like the Celtics touched it last. Are they going to challenge this? Let's see who touched this last. Oh, looks like it's out on Garza. Yeah, it looks like the Heat are going to challenge it. Miami's within 13 somehow. I really hope they shut me up because they have shown nothing until this last stretch in terms of being able to chip away at this lead. Miami needs this challenge to go in their favor so they can get the ball back. And just for the sake of hope, get over 100, get within, that 11, 10 point deficit so that you could have a quarter to really chip away. It's definitely the word of the night, guys, chip away. Miami hasn't been able to do any of it until this last little stretch. This is what shows you that the league is crazy. Miami had no business even being within 13 points right now. We're looking at the other games right now. Milwaukee, man. Sad season for them. They're definitely going to get destroyed by the Rockets. Indy putting a number on the Bulls right now. Both teams are outside of the play-in or playoffs, so it doesn't really matter. I think Indy's just playing just because they want to have fun at this point because they've lost so much. This Denver-Utah game looks like it's going to be another, a lot of blowouts tonight. Not many close games. The only one right now that's close is Sacramento and Toronto. And if you want to call Miami getting within, striking distance right now, that's where this is at. But every other game seems to be just a blowout right now. Which is weird at this stage of the season. I mean, I guess there's a clear separation when you have a playoff team and like a team that's outside the playoff. But then you have teams like this, like the Heat and the Magic that are in the playoff hunt, and they're getting beat by other teams that are just above them. Wow. Let's see what the cause. Well, the challenge is unsuccessful, and the Celtics will retain the ball here. Let's see what Miami can get another stop because the Celtics are going to have 14 seconds on the clock. And I don't know. We'll see. They need one more stop. They need one more stop and really try and score on the other end. There's only 28 seconds left in the quarter, so there's probably just like Celtics probably going to bring it down below the 24-second shot clock, and then whoever gets the last shot, yeah. If Miami's able to get a rebound here, they'll be able to take the last shot. So Pritchard's okay. Miami gets a rebound here. Davion driving it. Okay, it looks like he missed the layup, but Miami keeps the ball here with 9 seconds left. They're going to be able to inbound on their side of the court. So wonder if they're going to call. Yeah, it was out on Hauser. Wonder if they're going to call an inbound play. Jaquez has it. Out to Hero. Davion for 3. Nails it. Now that's how you end the quarter, man. So it's a 10-point game now, entering the fourth. And Miami finally has some life after 2 2 and 2/3 quarters of just brutal defense, like allowing too many points and offensively not being able to string together enough of a sequence to get back into it. But Miami now finds itself at 112, and I think it's going to update now. It should say 102. Yeah. So if you've stuck around for this long, it's no longer a blowout unless Miami slips right back into it in the fourth. But it looks like whatever was spoken on at halftime, I guess, had a delayed reaction, and you found the Heat within 10, within striking distance, and there's a little bit of hope in the building. So happy for the fans in the stadium, in the arena right now, because they're at least there's something to stay in their seats for, and Miami showing that they're not going out without a fight. The Celtics are what? Yeah, so the Celtics are Pistons are pretty much clinching that. It's probably a game or two away from them clinching the top seed. The Celtics are probably, I don't know. It looks like they're going to be able to maintain that. We look at the standings here, probably a better look. Yeah, there's 4.5 games for sure. So, yeah, right now it would be Heat, Hornets, and then whoever wins gets to play the loser of Sixers Magic. Again, this is probably going to shuffle a little bit, but I anticipate the Hornets being in this like 9-10 range. Miami probably being in this 7-8 range when it's all said and done. And I think that the Sixers and the Raptors might flip. I don't know. We'll see. Magic might slip down. Yeah. Yeah, and I think they already clinched. Yeah, I think the Pistons already clinched the top seed. Because, yeah, there's no way. Yeah, and it's kind of crazy how Miami, after like gave up 79 points against Indiana and gave up 80 points tonight against the Celtics, but scored 45 points here in the third quarter, which is impressive. It still has them 10 points out. They got to do a better job here in this fourth quarter and not allow. They got to hold the Celtics below 30 points. They got to be able to really clamp down here. So let's see. Miami brings down the ball. Hero dribbles down, picks up his dribble for some reason. But Hawk is now at the top, driving it. But Derek White played some good defense there. It was not a great offensive set. Looks like they're going to try and get White the ball. Pritchard has it now. Hauser. Hero with good defense on Hauser. I don't know how he hit that mid-range shot over him. Hero for three. Misses it. Celtics up 114 to 102 here. So I have a 12-point lead. Tatum now pulls up from the elbow. Misses it. Larson saved it. Miami now coming back the other way. It's good hustle play. Hero with a transition three. Nails it. Big shot. It's a 9-point game now. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a game in Miami. It's no longer a double-digit lead for the Celtics. Hauser, he has been incredible tonight for the Celtics. Hits another mid-range shot there. Miami turns it over. Like, that just can't happen. It's the issue with the pace. Sometimes you're able to try and push the ball up. Other times you make a poor pass because too many people are moving and there's nothing, a little bit too chaotic. So Celtics back up to 11, an 11-point lead. Drew a foul on Ware. Even though that foul, man, I think the league needs to crack down on those lean-in fouls because Ware was pretty far from him. The same thing, Bam drew one earlier as well. That I think those are no calls. It's a no call or call it the other way. It's just not, unless they are within your space and you're able to actually draw contact, like shouldn't be able to lean into them and get a foul because it's not a natural shot you would take. All right. Tatum is able to hit both free throws, so back up to 13. Hawkins pulls up for three, but isn't able to hit it. Hawkins is just 2 of 6 from three tonight. Tatum rises up for three. Not what you want, guys. This is a little bit expected, though. They just do what they can to probe, and that pick by the screen set by Keita at the top of the three, and just like too much space and time for Tatum. Tatum now has 23 points, 22 points for the night. And that's that Jaylen Brown's on the bench resting. Dude's going to come in soon, and that might be it. You're going to have to play incredible defense on him, and it's going to be him and Tatum just going at it. And then when you have Hauser and Pritchard out there, kind of like spreading it out, this would have to be probably the best stretch of basketball that the Heat have played this season in order for them to to complete this comeback, because you got to give credit to the Celtics. They're playing great, and Miami made its push. It should make a push when you're playing at home. Just I don't know if it's too little, too late. So yeah, Atlanta's going to secure a 30-point win, almost 29-point win over the Magic here. Knicks Grizzlies getting a little closer. It's a 9-point game now, so they allowed their Grizz to fight back. All the other ones, Pacers still have control of that game. Bucks fighting back within 10. Again, the one that we're watching closely is Toronto versus Sacramento, now that the second half is kicked off. All right. Yeah, Celtics is season 3-0 against Miami. And even though the last game in February was a 2-point game and went down to the wire, Miami just hasn't been able to get over the hump. And at this rate, it might be a clean sweep this season. And not what you would expect, because Miami usually fights against the Celtics and is able to, steal one or two. This season's just been such an anomaly. And I'm really wondering when Miami's going to get Norm Powell back. That's going to be big for them offensively, but he's not going to solve their defensive issues, which is allowing this many points. Just can't keep allowing 120 plus points if you want to have a chance at winning games. It's not a sustainable path. Wow. Celtics score on Ware there. Kata's able to almost drew an and one, honestly. Ware for 3. Nails it. Makes up for it at least. So it's a 13-point game right now. Ware's 2 of 2 from beyond the arc. He blocked that, but it was a foul beforehand. Miami has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players in double digits, which is nice to see. But I mean, tonight's game clearly can be chalked up to just poor defensive effort. There's not enough effort there to be able to stay within range. This is probably going to be one of those stretches where you're going to see it go between Tatum and Brown, primarily in the final stretch, to just, even if it's trading baskets, that's all they need to do. They don't even need to go on another run or anything like that. So Tatum missed the second one, so it's a 14-point game. Miami comes down with it. Davion misses that little runner in the lane. Looks like they're trying to get the ball into Brown, who has Hero on him. He drew a foul. Again, getting to the line, just siphoning away opportunities from Miami. And doing what they can to keep padding the lead. He missed a free throw, though. Miami needs to go on like a 9-0 run, 8-0 run. That's their best bet here. Not sure how you do it. Somehow Jaylen Brown missed both those free throws. Hero with a transition three doesn't go down, though. You can't be mad with it. It's you got to fight your way back, and you got to make them quick. So Brown again here, taking it on Hero. Tatum for three. Misses it, but they get the rebound. Oh, wow. Pump fakes get both Jaime and Wiggins up in the air, an easy layup. 16-point lead. 38 points for Brown. Cooled down after his hot start, but, I mean, he's still going to end with probably 40-plus points. Bam driving it in. Bam for three. Off the front iron. Miami gets the rebound. Bam with a nice little fadeaway in the paint. But the offense for sure, like the Celtics are doing a good job to stunt Miami from moving the ball around as much as they want and kind of being forced into deeper shot clock possessions. Pritchard for three nails it. Yeah, this is chalk it up, guys. This is you cannot allow threes like that. Again, Miami has more threes than them, but you allow 129 points, man. You're losing 9 out of 10 of those games. Davion Mitchell fouls Brown here, but it's not a shooting foul, so they'll be just inbounding it. So far, Miami's leaders are Bam with 23, Mitchell with 19, and Hero with 16. Cade doesn't have a lot of points, but it seems like he's just the few points he has have been impactful. Hero with a floater right back, but the lead is not being decimated. It is, they're keeping that lead, and they're not stringing together those stops. Brown again for mid-range. Oh my God. Somehow the Celtics end up with this ball. They just want it more. Let's just call it what it is right now. The way that they're playing, the Celtics want it more. They're playing better defense. They're moving the ball around better, and they're hustling for these rebounds. But this is also, even though Miami is third best at rebounding, when it comes to paint rebounds, I don't know if there's a stat for that, but it's not like they've done a great job. It's you could tell it's only Bam and Ware that are able to get those. It's something that the team needs to address in the offseason. You can't have just Bam and Ware be your only two bigs. They were rolling out Jovic earlier in the year at the 4 and the 5. It's not his natural position, and he's not that kind of guy. They have Vlad Golden sitting there. That guy's just kind of like there to fill a roster spot. He gets no playing time. And Kaseya Johnson gets the occasional opportunity, but he's really a wing that plays big every once in a while. And so that's the reality of where they are when it comes to their front court. They just don't have enough talent there. They don't have enough bodies. Tatum with 25 points here. Celtics up to 135 now. Miami has 116. Oh yeah, Celtics did what they could to pretty much make this again a 20-point lead. Even Kata gets a lucky bounce. Like if I'm Spo, I'm clearing the bench right now. I'm not even trying to fight back into this. You're down 21 with 4.5 left. Don't waste any more energy. Um, your team has done what it could to fight back in that third, but you're not going to make a significant push now. You might get within 10 again, but I don't know how you win this game. Celtics are clearly the better team. Brown with the air ball there, but I was expecting that to go in just because of the kind of night he's had. On any other night, honestly, you look at the stat line with 5 minutes left, they have 114. They got 6 guys in double digits. You're like, damn, that's good. Even Ware has 8 points. He's almost in double digits as well. Just his defense, defensively, you can't win like this. And I'm surprised that they didn't throw much of a zone look at all tonight. I guess right now they're trying to do the 3-2, but it seems like it's pointless at this stage. And somehow they're going to find the open man. Pritchard. How did Kata get that rebound, man? That's just insane. After all that, to be able to allow him to get that rebound is Miami just doesn't have enough big bodies to box out. Kata's going to the line because they're in the bonus now. Celtics have shot 58% tonight. When you get performances like the Celtics and the Pacers shooting at such a high percentage, you're not going to win those games, and that's exactly what's happened. Bam hits another 3 here. His 29 points. 139 to 122. Not sure why this isn't updating, but Miami now pushing it. Oh man, dude, the turnovers tonight have also been atrocious. Like Bam just gave the ball out to the other team there. That was not a great fall for Hero. Five fouls on Hero. I mean, he was boxing out Pritchard, and then Pritchard pushed him into Kata. Jeez, rough fall. They're going to call timeout there. Yeah, this is the actual score right now. We got Miami down 122 to 139. And yeah, if we're looking at this, 58% from the field. They've taken 91 shots. Miami's taken 89, so it's pretty close there. They've just converted way more. And let's see the rebound count. 52 rebounds to Miami's 45. Yeah, that's a problem. Assist count, they have 33 to Miami's 27. And yeah, it's I don't know how you address this, honestly. It's been too many games in a row for the Heat, um, just allowing this many points. Like Sixers game was an anomaly of 109, but then Pacers 135, Cavs 149, Cavs again 103. That was like the good game, probably the best game. 136 against San Antonio, 123 against the Rockets, 134 against the Lakers, 121 against the Magic, and then yeah, Pistons. This was a good win, but it's just too few and far between of the games that are 110 and less. That's where you want to be, like allowing under 110. Uh, but yeah, man, you just can't be allowing 120, 130, 140 points. It's I know this league has become a high scoring league, but I don't know how you can be a competitive team if you're allowing that. And it's just bizarre to see it from a team like the Heat, whose identity starts on the defensive end, and then this year has become, a more offensive focused team. But yeah, it's an interesting wrinkle in Miami's uh, development this season. We'll see how it all plays out. As I mentioned, it's the good thing is that they do have some winnable games over the next four. Right, you should win both games against Washington. You should pull one out of Toronto, and if you really want it, you win those two games. So you find yourselves with 3 or 4 wins over the next 4 games, and you could give yourself a better seed in the play-in likely, and find yourself at the 7th or 8th again. I'm not sure what happened here. Looks like it froze, so we could go to so yeah, as I mentioned, I said Miami can't allow, they have to hold them under 30 points. But right now, in terms of the fourth quarter, they're going to pass that. And the Celtics currently have 140 points, even though Miami has 122, and that's essentially their what the average is for them. It doesn't matter when you allow 140. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, man. Yeah, it looks like Data Baller had a pause here, hasn't been able to update there. But if we're just looking at this at the score up here, you got 140 to 124. Larson just got an and one, so he's gonna go to the line. Bam looks great on paper, 29 and 10. But when you don't got the rest of your team in lockstep playing defense with you and rotating and being able to stop the Celtics from going just like insane from beyond the arc early in the game. Yeah. This game was pretty much over from the first quarter. And yeah, I'm surprised too that the Heat have these guys out there because look at this. The Celtics get a third chance on this possession now. Crazy. Brown hits a shot. Brown gets the 40, right? And Miami comes down and I guess hits a shot too. Davion with the drive. It's gonna be too little, too late, and yeah, the Celtics are gonna hit a three here. Are gonna get an and one to go up 145, 127. Jaylen Brown gets a 43 with that triple. Jaquez got blocked, but was able to finish it there. Again, on paper, you say that he scored 129. You think that they're in a good spot, but it just wasn't the case tonight. Let's see what the final score ends up coming out to. Derek White drives it, finishes, puts him up at 147. All right, Celtics get the ball here. It looks like they're going to hold on to it. So, yeah, looks like the final score is going to end up being 147 and 129. So, Heat lose by, 18 points? And Celtics sweep Miami 4 games this season. Miami just hasn't been able, outside of that last game, there was a 2-point game. Just haven't had an answer for the Celtics and how they're playing. They're an incredible defensive team. Tonight they were an incredible offensive team, putting about 147 on Miami. So it is a little bit alarming at this stage of the season that Miami has had these defensive breakdowns and they're not playing the brand of basketball that they're known for. You know, there's been other pundits, other people kind of talking about, they're wondering if Coach Spoelstra's message is becoming like they're not listening to him or something's not filtering through, because it just seems like it just doesn't seem like a symptom. It seems like something that's pervasive, and this team needs to find ways to get back to their identity. Even if it means scoring a little bit less, like you need to be able to prevent teams from scoring over 120 points a game. And even if you don't score 120, you score close to 120. That gives you a fighting chance. So I guess the other games for the rest of the night, for those of you that are still tuning in, the Grizzlies fought back. They're within 9 now against the Knicks. I expect the Knicks to kind of like press the gas pedal and, build up a lead again in the fourth. They kind of let it slip there, but they're a better team than the Grizzlies for sure. Same thing with the Rockets here. Somehow the Bucks are kind of hanging around, but I don't expect them to fall apart, especially when the Bucks have Cormac Ryan out there. Never heard of that guy in my life. That just gives you an idea of who they're rolling out there to play. This is the game that you hope the Kings pull it off. The Raptors are clearly the better team, but right now, by the way, shout out Precious Achua. He's been having an incredible little streak with the Kings. Can kind of look at this guy's stats. Consistently over the last 5 games, 16 points, 14, 14, 12. And then I believe, getting 4 rebounds, 5 rebounds, 4 rebounds, 6 rebounds. Oh, sorry, that was offensive. 15 rebounds. This game over here was incredible. He had 14 points, 15 rebounds, 6 offensively. And yeah, he didn't take too many threes, but playing a good stretch of basketball for the Kings, who are kind of like in a void right now. They don't know what to do with that team. But again, I appreciate you all for sticking around and tuning in the stream. If you have any questions, if you have anything you're looking forward to, we'll see if we do another one of these before the end of the season. I believe that there's 5 games left now. You can kind of look at the schedule. See Miami. When's the last game for Miami? I think it's the 8th. This is a Raptors game. Kind of see their schedule here. So yeah, Miami with 5 games left. They're they're gonna have to win as much of them as possible to have a better seed in at the end, right? So you have the Wizards, the Raptors, the Wizards, and then they end with the Hawks. At that point, I don't know. I don't know if the Hawks are going to be rolling out their full team or if they're going to rest some guys. That would be your hope if you're Miami. But with these last 5 games of the Wizards twice, Raptors twice, and the Hawks, you got to win 3 of them. Hopefully, you win 4 of them. And if by a miracle you win all 5, you can have a shot at the 6th seed maybe. But it's not looking that way. It looks like Miami's best chance is going to be in the 7th or 8th seed. Let's see if the standings are updated now that the game is over. Yeah, it looks like when you look at the playoff picture here, we got Miami 10th right now, I guess, right? That puts them Miami down to 10 right now with that loss. So 15. Again, it's almost a 3-way tie between the Hornets, Magic, and Heat. It's just a half game difference here. The Sixers they're gonna win tonight, right? They did. Yeah, they won. So that already is locked in. And they're 2.5 games above Miami. So yeah, it's more of like the Sixers probably just want the Heat to beat the Raptors so that they could leapfrog here. I think it's safe to say that the Hawks are going to be good with 5th or 6th seed. And then, yeah, it's really these the play-in is what's going to shuffle around a bit. I could see Miami getting back into 8th or 7th, but that's probably the ceiling at this point. You need to finish strong, and just if you want any kind of like momentum going into that play-in, and if you want to find yourself in that a first-round matchup, yeah, it's almost better, honestly, though, if Miami somehow stays in that 9th, 10th spot and finds a way to play against the Pistons just because it's a better matchup for them for whatever reason. Again, I don't see Miami winning either of these first-round matchups. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough if you find your way out of the play-in, get into the playoff spot, and have to play the Pistons or Celtics. But in terms of who can they take more games in a series, I think it could be the Pistons. We've shown that we can play them well. The Celtics, they've swept us this season, so it's hard for me to I can't deny that is the reality that this season Celtics have Miami's number, and Miami would be lucky to win 1 or 2 games in that series. Whereas the Pistons, I think that they could win 2, maybe 3 max and make it a playoff series and give those guys some opportunities and some reps to, get some playoff experience, especially the younger guys. But that's where we're at right now with the Heat and the trajectory this season. For all intents and purposes, it looks like the Pistons and the Celtics are the teams to beat. The Cavs and the Knicks are right there, and you could make it an interesting second-round matchup. But I think we might see Pistons and Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals, and then in the West, this might be one of those chalk kind of playoff runs where it's just the 1 and 2 seed are the ones that come out. But anything could happen in the playoffs. I could be completely wrong. I'm just looking at what I've seen so far this season. And the Thunder Spurs they're not only the top two in the West, they're the top two in the NBA. And I don't foresee any of the East teams beating either of those teams. So I think the West finds a way to pretty much win another title, whether it's the Thunder or the Spurs or one of these other teams that you see. You know, the Nuggets are still a problem. Like, they could get hot in the playoffs when you have Jokic and you have Murray and you have Aaron Gordon and other guys like that. The Timberwolves haven't been able to get over the hump. They always knock on the door. So as long as Anthony Edwards is on that team, I guess you got to be worried about them. And same thing with the Lakers. You got Luka, LeBron. They don't have depth, but they could get carried by some of the stars in the earlier rounds. I think as they go deeper, it'll be tough. That Rockets Lakers series, if that's what ends up being a matchup, that's going to be fun basketball. That's going to be fun to watch. So I think these like 4 and 5 seed matchups in the West are going to be really fun, especially Nuggets and Timberwolves too, because clearly the Timberwolves were able to put a number on them last season, and I think there's going to be some payback there. So, all right, guys, I think we'll wrap it up there. Appreciate you all for tuning in. We'll keep following us, and we'll let you know when the next stream is. If you don't follow us on Instagram, it's at Courtside Cre8ives. And if you don't follow 786 Sports, our YouTube channel, this is where we do all the live streams. Hit the subscribe button, give us a follow, and we'll see you on the next game. See you guys.